Oh, of course. Happy to do it.
Okay, and we're live, and Bill taking over the show. Hey everyone, we're here with Bill Doris for a special edition of Tittle Tattle, which is the weekly media analysis show that Bill and I do. Today we're going to analyze why the hell anyone still works in TV news when they can live on a sailboat and sail across the world, and that's what Emily here does now with her husband. She quit TV news, and you can follow her at the Adventure Cruise on YouTube and elsewhere. Let's play the trailer, Emily, before you tell us anything more, because it's a pretty cool video.
I'm Emily, this is Cole, and together with our dog Dixie, we're the Adventure Cruise. We broke up with society's norms to chase our dreams of travel and adventure. We believe life is meant to be lived now.
Give me that sunshine.
As a Tennessee girl, I moved to Florida where I fell in love twice. First with the water, and again when I met my husband. I quit my job as a TV news anchor to embrace a life of travel and adventure. I said goodbye to teleprompters and hello to chart plotters. I'm excited to tell the stories of the people we meet and the places we go.
Born and raised in Florida, being on the water has always been my passion. So after a decade of construction management, I'm taking my problem-solving skills to the sea.
We hope to inform, entertain, and inspire you through our travels aboard our Leopard 44 sailing catamaran. Subscribe for epic adventures on the water as we meet some of the coolest people from all walks of life.
Give me that sunshine. Give me them good times. Nothing but good vibes. Give me that sunshine. Bring on the summertime.
Okay, I don't know why you quit TV news to do that. Hello. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Emily, okay, please introduce yourself. Tell us first, before we get into the whole sailing around the world adventure, why you wanted to be a journalist, a TV journalist specifically.
So I always loved telling stories. It really started in middle school. I went to a performing arts middle school, and after being in several plays for several years, it was specifically a performing arts middle school. I said, I want to be an actress. And then I thought about that, and I'm like, well, I just want to be myself, and I love meeting people and telling their stories. So that's where the idea of being a broadcast journalist came up. And I actually had several career changes before actually going to school for broadcast journalism. You know, I came from a family background of a medical history, and I actually toured a station in Nashville, Tennessee. And the photographer at the time said, this is hilarious, Bill, you're going to crack up. You too, Allison. The photographer said, well, do you want to get out of school eating bread and water? Then be a journalist. And that never scared me. Like, I knew that if I wanted to do it bad enough and I loved what I did, then it would happen. And one of the things I am most proud of to this day, I got out of school and my first TV job was $30,000. Like, I look at that now and I laugh, and I had zero savings. But in 2 years, I saved up $10,000 and then bought my first house. So it's all about following your passion.
My first TV job was $18,500.
Oh wow! Then I was rich compared to you.
Oh yeah,
mine was about 22. Here's the deal. The viewers of this show, and if you're viewing this, it's because you are a subscriber and you're a subscriber only. So first of all, we want to thank you for that. But most of the
Bill, we haven't done that yet.
Not yet?
Thank you for telling everybody. We should just give everyone a heads up. As Bill was mentioning, this is a show we do for supporters only. So right now, everybody's getting to see it, but only supporters on ROKFIN, Locals, and Patreon are going to get the entirety of the video with Emily. Okay, so just thank you, Bill, for getting that out of the way early. Continue on, please.
I do what I can. I'm here. I'm here for you. Most people.
Who the boss is here?
Oh, she's the boss. Let's not make no mistake, folks.
This is on the Allison Morrow channel, not the Bill Doris channel. Let's just remember who pays the bills here, right?
Exactly.
Going back to the salary, Bill, 18.5 would be a good one for him to get.
If Allison starts paying me 18.5, I'm quitting my job.
He's quitting.
Let's go. But in all seriousness, a lot of times here on Tittle Tattle, we do a lot of critical analysis of media stuff. So if you see me really in a strange state. It's because I'm beaming with pride, and I'm so happy because Emily is such a great success story on what you can accomplish with life after broadcast news journalism. And there's so many tragic stories, but to have Emily on and tell an amazing story. And Emmy and I met, Emily, what was it, 2015 at the Dove Awards?
It had to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still in college. Well, maybe it was early 2014 or even 2013.
Okay. Yeah.
I graduated in 2014.
Right. And for those of you that know, the Dove Awards is basically the Grammys, but for Christian music. And we met in Nashville. And yeah, I don't want to say, Emily's not my protege, but I've definitely helped mentor her through some of the trials and tribulations of broadcast news journalism. And when she quit, I thought this was a tragedy for me. I thought to myself, she could have been up there. She could have been Barbara Walters, the Diane Sawyer. To see her quit, it broke my heart. But now I see what has set her soul and her heart on fire with her and her wonderful husband. And it's like, wow, I'm just blown away. So we had to have her on to show that there is amazing life out. There we go. Amazing life out there for everyone in broadcast journalism.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you.
Question about post journalism before we get into what you're doing right now. Do you consider sailing and documenting your adventures and everything a form of journalism?
Absolutely. Maybe not journalism in the traditional sense that we used to know journalism, right? Like the news, but I very much feel the sense of telling the facts of when I go to these places. Like before we did this interview, my husband and I were on the island exploring, and I said a number of the population. He's like, no, that's not right. And I'm glad he called me out on it. He knows to call me out because I want to be factually correct. I don't want to be out here now, even though I'm not a true journalist anymore. I don't want to be spreading falsehoods about these places we go. And we're very eager to really show the people we meet while along the places we go. And that's something you're going to see more and more of as we go through this vlog challenge, going to these very remote places and meeting the people who are the fabric of these islands. And I think it is very much a calling. And I'm so eternally grateful that TV news was just a stepping stone to where I am today. Like, I would never go back to it, but I'm so thankful for it because I would not have the wherewithal to document and create a YouTube channel and do all of the things we're doing now if it wasn't for TV news. So I'm grateful for that stepping stone in my life.
I would say, obviously, I've followed your career step by step, you know, from Nashville to Notre Dame. Where's Notre Dame again? There we go. Okay. And then obviously to Indianapolis and then to Sarasota. Is there anything along the line in TV news that you miss?
Can you roll the crickets? Honestly, I don't miss any of it. I mean, when I close a chapter, that chapter is done. I would have never left when I did if there was ever anything inside of me that said, maybe when. You know, it's funny because before Cole and I started dating, I was very much like laser focused, tunnel vision on what was next. And for me, what I thought at the time, what was next was going to a bigger market, going to Dallas, going to Phoenix. I was going
to...
Oh, no.
Well, you know what? Let's do this, Bill, while we're waiting for her to unfreeze. Let's do something we need to do anyway, which is promote my wine, all right? Every time Emily freezes, because she's in the middle of nowhere, take a sip of AllisonWinePromo.com. Emily, we're just pitching the wine since you... It's okay. It's okay. I needed to pitch my wine anyway. I said, every time you freeze, you need a drink. It's the new drinking game, the Emily Freezes drinking game. And if you're not drinking AllisonWinePromo.com, then your other sip should be TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison. Okay, you have no choice. There's a non-alcoholic and an alcoholic version. There's even a caffeine-free version. Okay, well, not totally caffeine-free, but if you get the Katura tea, It's tea made from coffee fruit, very low caffeine, high antioxidants. TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison. USDA certified organic roast. There's light roast, there's dark roast, there's espresso. You can get everything you ever wanted when it comes to drinking coffee at TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison. Let's go back to Allison Wine Promo for a second, though. High altitude, extremist altitude wines. The one in the middle from Argentina's oldest vineyard, over 200 years old. A family vineyard. The one on the left, hand harvested grapes. One on the right, natural fermentation, named after the Cowboys of Argentina. You cannot get these wines anywhere else. Why would you want to? Again, do the Emily drinking game. Get yourself some Allison Wine Promo, TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison. Take a sip every time she freezes. Support my channel. Keep bringing people like her on. Okay, and we're going to talk to Emily about how she funds this dream of hers, because we were talking before we went live that in fact they're not trust fund babies. They have figured out how to do this all on their own, which is fascinating and encouraging for people who also may want to quit their job and go live in the Bahamas on a sailboat. Okay, but we're going to go real fast, okay, because I wanted to get into this too. Over on Locals, AllisonMorrow.locals.com, another great way to join my editorial board and support my work. $5 a month, go one-on-one with the most censored people on the internet. Wells Mortensen asks, where are you currently moored other than in Cole's heart?
Oh, that's amazing.
We are in Clarencetown, Long Island.
Okay, and that is where?
That is the island of Long Island in the Bahamas, not Long Island, New York. It is
okay,
in the
yes.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I keep hearing Long Island, and I'm like, New York?
No.
You made it up the East Coast? Wait, what?
Yeah, people are like, that's not what I would want to do with my sailboat.
So,
no.
thing I've got to say really quick. So this time 2 years ago, Cole and I came here on a charter. We did a couple of charters before deciding like, hey, we actually want to buy a boat, because we wanted to know like, hey, can we actually live on a boat together? So it was this time 2 years ago, we were in this same anchorage on a boat for the first time together. We had just gotten engaged. We were celebrating our birthdays because we're both April babies. And it's just like so surreal to be back here now 2 years later and like all these experiences, and now married and on our own boat, and just like the whole slew of things. Like, God is good. Like, this is crazy.
Farron Balanced. I was with Emily in South
Farron.
Bend when she started at ABC 57. TV is such a small world. So happy to see you happy, Emily. P.S. I don't miss TV either.
Yes.
That should be the name of the episode. We don't miss TV news.
I know, right? Okay, let's go back to some relaxing video right now of, well, this is your husband petting your dog, but I'm going to play also the boat video and everything.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this, though. Okay, you're in the Bahamas right now. Let's go back again to your decision to make this happen. In your mind at the beginning, what was the dream, and is this exactly what you had intended, or did it transform at some point along the way?
And where does he get those awesome t-shirts or those awesome shirts? We got to know.
I actually think that came from Cole's.
I think he gets them at Lynn's closet, my husband's closet, because that's a total like my husband thing.
Doesn't he look so suave though? I mean, look at him.
Yes. Like, I would wear that on the golf course today if I had it.
Bill, I'll send you. I can't say why we're cleaning out closets right now. People can take a guess. We haven't announced publicly yet what's happening in our lives while we're cleaning out closets, but I'll send you some of Lynn's shirts. Since he's 5'5", they'll fit on like one of your legs.
I was gonna say, I think Bill's a little taller than that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so what's the original dream, and is this it, or did it transform along the way?
It definitely transpired. So what I was saying earlier before, the drinking game happened and I froze, I thought I was going to keep going to other markets. And then I met Cole, and immediately, like, we started talking about travel within 1 month of dating. Like, crazy, right? Like, I don't even know this dude, but we're talking about traveling the world together. I don't know. It was meaningful and deep from the beginning. And I initially wanted to buy an RV. I said I would love to take time off TV news. Of course, I'm teaching him all about contracts and how this whole thing rolls. And I said, I want to take time off and buy an RV, and we'll travel our country. And we figured it out. We'd do 52 states and 50 states in 52 weeks. And then he's like, well, have you ever thought about a sailboat? And I'm like, I'm from Tennessee. I don't know squat about a sailboat. So we started watching the mini sailing YouTube channels. There's a ton of them out there. And immediately I was like, well, I could do this. Like, I've been documenting other people and their stories for the last almost decade, I could tell our story and the places we go and the people we meet. And that's something that we literally talked about every single day for almost 2.5 years before buying the boat, which is so crazy.
All right. So you buy the boat. How do you finance this? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so we had to go big or go home, right? Because we both at the time had W-2 jobs. So it was really important that we shot our shot, right? Because now we are freelancers and we have our own business. And even if we could, buy the boat outright, almost outright with little mortgage, we wouldn't be able to get financing for it because we don't have the W-2 job. So between Cole's job and mine at the time, I've since started my own business in content creation. But yes, that's how we got the financing with the W-2 job. So.
Oh, and Bill's gone. That's
Oh,
awesome.
no.
I guess we all know what happens when I make the screen big for someone else. Bill just decides to leave and go grab a beer or something. Okay, so all right, so you get this boat, and you said people kind of in different places that you go, they think you're just like trust fund kids. Does that affect your ability to document what's going on the way you want to? Do you have to upfront tell people like, no, we're just normal people. We're not like, this isn't Paris Hilton's second go at, what was her show called again? The Farm Life or something? The Simple Life.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not been an avid Paris Hilton follower, so I don't know. Apparently she was in the Bahamas not too long ago, though, from what I've heard.
That she gets around in more ways than one, I've heard. Okay, continue. No, I shouldn't have said that about her. Okay, so
this is why we have a private chat, because I said, hey, I'm running to the restroom. I'll be right back. And
oh, I didn't see the private chat. Okay, well, you could have said something out. You didn't have to say be right back bathroom. Okay. Anyway, TMI. Speaking of bathroom, actually, I'm glad that got brought up because there was a question over on Locals. Well, it wasn't really a question. It was a comment about somebody who loves their sailboat, but would not want to clean up after their dog every day. Let's see here. JV, I love sailing and I love my dog, but I'd love both a lot less if I had to clean up after a dog on my boat every day. How do you have a dog on a sailboat?
Yeah, how does Dixie get along?
Dixie loves the boat. Like, she loves it. She loves dinghy rides. Like, she gets so upset if we leave the boat and go on the dinghy without her. Like, she will bark until she can't see us any longer. It has been a bit of a struggle getting her to go to the bathroom. I think we've almost got her trained, at least for number one. We had to leave her on the boat for like 5 days and give her a couple laxatives, which I feel so badly about, but she just would not go. She's so well trained. She's 6 years old and she is so well trained that she just would not go. But as far as where she goes, since we have a catamaran, we have a trampoline on the front. It's the netting that you see. So she goes there and we just either spray it off, or if it's number two, then we pick it up and throw it off, not with our hands, but with gloves, and then clean it off there. So the biggest thing, though, for the day-to-day is just really the dog hair. Like, she is a prolific shedder, being an Australian Shepherd, but we just vacuum it up. It's better than a lot of dogs, though, because sand comes off of her super easy. She'll get super sandy and we'll spray her off. She shakes a couple times and it's all gone, which is amazing. Unlike a lot of doodles we met along our journey, and they're just like Swiffers. So it could be worse. She's pretty good compared to what it could be.
So I have to ask, obviously, Allison and Emily, they definitely are more of a camera facing people when it comes to broadcast television. And I've got a face for radio. So I definitely, I obviously have done stuff in front of the camera too, but I'm also a tech nerd. I'm a geek, and doing this stuff from a boat. I mean, some people have trouble producing videos in their office, and you produce super high quality broadcast award-winning stuff on a boat. So what are you using? What kind of camera? What do you edit on? What do you have a tripod? What kind of gear are you using?
So we have several Sony cameras. I currently have the Sony A7R5. I have the Sony A7C. I have everything put away, or I would show you. GoPros, of course, for we're in the water. We have drones. We have our DJI Pocket Cam. That's actually probably one of our most underrated cameras. It's a little pocket cam. It's literally like this tall and like this wide. And it's great because it has a gimbal on it. So whenever we're on the dinghy and we're like this, I can hold it straight, and the gimbal obviously bounces but keeps it really steady. You know, that is something that's like so ingrained in me, is like setting up shots properly and like not having shots that are like this. And even though I'm no longer producing videos for TV, like my soul just like cringes when a shot is like not good. Now, granted, if it's like part of the story, like if we're on a sail and it's 20 knot winds and we're rocking all over the place, then, you know, I can forgive myself a little bit, but I always strive to still have like really clean shots, because who wants to watch garbage, right? Nobody wants to watch garbage.
Exactly.
So that's what do you lose part in me.
What are you editing on?
I edit on Premiere Pro, all Adobe products.
Okay. So it's just so funny to see not only how you put out amazing quality videos, but I just remember when you took your first job in South Bend and you would post the photos of yourself doing solo live shots with what are the packs that do self?
Yeah, the backpacks.
The backpacks with the cell phone signal.
Yeah, backpack. Yeah.
Live view, that's what it is.
Yes, thank you. Live view,
yes. I remember seeing you doing live views and posting those, and I'm like, oh my God, you're doing so well. And then you would message me back, I'm so cold. so
if I never go back to South Bend in my entire life, it would be enough.
Hey, speaking of former TV markets, we are going to pick Emily's brain about corporate television news, about the media, whatever that means, and all that good stuff, and her thoughts on the good, the bad, and the ugly for supporters. Because again, if you just tuned in, this is a supporter-only show that Bill and I do every week. We did a few minutes on the other platforms for everybody because Emily was gracious enough to join us from the middle of nowhere, so we wanted her to get her message out. But again, think about supporting over at Locals, ROKFIN, Patreon, and you'll get the entire episode. Before we do that, though, Emily, what's your big picture message you want to get across to people about your lifestyle, work, all that good stuff change?
If we can do it, then you can do it. We're not doing anything that is, or I should say, we're not particularly special. There is nothing unique and different about us. We just put a plan together. We had a vision and we put a plan together, and everything we did was with intention to make that happen. Like, how many people do you know of who say, oh, goodness, I wish I could do that, or you're so lucky, or one day I'll do this. Like, one day is never a day. Like, one day you will be dead, and one day you might get cancer or you get in a car wreck. Like, the only time to live is now, and I'm so thankful that we realized this earlier, because you know, one day may never come. So for anyone watching and just you have that festering in your soul, if it's the first thing on your mind in the morning and the last thing you think about before you go to bed, you better act on it, because that is real, and that is a calling, and that is not put there by chance.
Okay. Speaking of people who are going to need a career change, BuzzFeed is shutting down. We're going to talk to Emily all about this and more. So thank you for those who have been watching. We will hopefully see you. This is my live stream for Locals. This is what I do. See how it says only for supporters? So we're going to hit that now. If you're watching this on Locals and you don't see anything past this point, it's because you're not a supporter. So consider becoming one, and see you next time. And then elsewhere on YouTube, it's been great seeing you guys. You're probably used to this if you're watching on YouTube, because I kill most streams early. We love you. See you